Yes. Okay. So mostly you all come from batch number 72. So we completed DevOps with AWS training. It took around 3 months, 1 week. So all of your goal is to settle as DevOps and cloud engineer with better package. So to reach that goal, you have multiple steps to complete. So first thing is, let me do it in an ML format. Okay. So DevOps goals. So first thing is learning technology. So you already completed. I hope you all learned properly here. And then practice technology. Okay, so these two things I hope you guys completed. If not, again, start from the scratch. Practice multiple times. Just practicing a single time will not give you so much confidence. Okay, so we spent around 120 hours of training. Definitely you have to spend 4 times, like around 480 hours of training. Combining 600 hours of training can make you an experienced DevOps and cloud engineer. Okay, so you'll become more, you'll have more knowledge and more experience than the actual DevOps and cloud engineer, because whatever the tools we have taught here, so those are the complete list of DevOps and cloud tools available in the market. Okay, at least popular tools. So no one in the real time, no person in the real time, they don't know these many tools and concepts properly. Okay, maybe they have been working on few tools like Jenkins and Ansible. Few persons will be working on only Kubernetes. Few persons will be working on only SonarQube, Nexus, Git, something like that. So no person can completely work on complete DevOps tools and cloud services. Okay, but we taught completely because we don't know which tool you will get it in your team. Okay, so just practice whatever we taught completely multiple times. That's the main responsibility you should complete before preparing your resume. Okay, so these are the 3 steps, if I say. And then now resume template. First, let us discuss about resume template. Okay, just learning the technology and practicing the technology is not enough, because the first line of success, first goal you should reach, first milestone you should reach as part of DevOps engineer is convincing the other side person, like HR or manager, technical manager, your team member, whoever reviewing your profile. You should convince them you know all those things whatever you mention in the resume properly. Okay, and you have to showcase your experience, your resume as you are at least 3 to 4 years of experience DevOps engineer. You know all those concepts, you know all the, you should mention all the tools and technologies asked in the job description. Okay, that is the main responsibility. So as resume is a thing on behalf of you. Okay, you cannot speak with HR directly whenever you are applying for the jobs, right? So they will check your profile. It should be in a good format. You should mention the points very clearly, and they will send the resume to the technical managers. They should also like your resume. So resume is a very, very important step once you complete the learning and practice. So let us discuss on the proper template, how to mention, how to prepare your resume. Okay. So usually I spend at least three days to 7 days to prepare my own resume. For example, if I want to change any company of my present company, then I should definitely spend minimum 3 days to 1 week on. I should read the points in my resume multiple times. I will understand the points mentioned in the resume completely, so that you will get more confidence. Mostly persons generally what they do is, candidates what they do, they will copy from some resumes from the internet. They will change the name, mobile number and email ID, and they will keep everything as it is. They don't know what they have mentioned in the resume itself. They didn't even read. But sometimes technical managers, if they want to evaluate you properly, they will take 5 to 10 minutes of time and they will read the resume completely. Then they will ask the questions based on the points you mentioned in the resume. Okay, so to achieve success at each and every situation, it is always recommended to know your resume properly. You spend more time on the resume instead of copying from the internet. So first I'll discuss the resume template. So whatever the resume you keep, it should be, if you follow this template, then the selection percentage of your profile will be very good. Okay. So first thing, left side, your name, your full name with your family name. Okay. Just don't keep your name like Siva. Mention your full name, email, and phone number. Okay. And then right side, keep the certification badges. First, let us understand this template properly, and later I will discuss the resume points I prepared. Okay. Like this. Okay, left side. This is not a proper template. I will give you many templates. Okay. Left side, keep your name, your position. Senior DevOps engineer, DevOps lead, or DevOps manager, something like that. Email and phone number. Phone number, keep it in a readable format. Don't mention like this 628193709. Don't mention like this. Keep it in a readable format. Okay. Like this. And then, so right side, keep the certification badges like this. AWS Solution Architect Associate, CKA badge, and then Terraform Associate badge. Whatever the badges you got from your certifications, keep them on the right side. So by seeing this, they will immediately get some good hope on your profile. Like, so you completed few certifications, then it means you achieved something. Okay. And next, you mentioned career objective. So career objective is nothing but, so what are you now? What is your vision? What is your mission? And what you want to become, like within the next 5 years, or what you want to become in future in IT. Okay. So what you know, what you want, what you are, for example, what you want to become next 5 years. So usually, mostly people copy this from internet. It's not a problem even you copy this from the internet. This career objective, maximum 5 lines. Okay. But you read what you have written there. Okay. So for example, so these are the career objective points I mentioned here. Okay, just read one of this. Highly motivated DevOps and cloud engineer with a strong passion for driving innovation, optimizing process, and ensuring seamless software delivery in cloud-based environments. So if you want to tell about DevOps and cloud engineer in 2 points, your responsibility is to deploy the application in a cloud environment or on-premise, whatever it is. It should be completely automated. You need to optimize the process. You should always think of improving the current process. That is the DevOps engineer main goal. Automated deployments from dev to production. That is the main responsibility. So your career objective should mention that point. So for example, I mentioned here 3 points. Okay, whatever I'm showing you here, don't copy paste as it is. Okay, because we are teaching thousands of students from long back. If you copy the same lines as it is, then it is not good. Okay, there is a chance HRs may catch you. Okay, but it's a less percentage, maximum 5 to 10%, but meaning can be same. You can just change the sentence structure. You can keep this thing at front and the first thing at last. So just understand the meaning what I'm saying. So this is what it should have. It's okay even if you copy this from internet, it doesn't matter. This is not much important, but it is always good to keep it. And next thing, you keep the professional summary. So what is this professional summary? This is 80% important of your resume. Okay, some points. So always HR see directly this page, right side, your certification badges, and directly this first page. Okay, so job description, for example, let me take one job description from Naukri. DevOps engineer, 3 years. So in job description, managers always mention something like the key technologies you should know. Okay, for example, CI/CD tools like Jenkins, GitHub, SonarQube. HRs, they will note down these points. Okay, so they don't know about software engineering. All they know is your resume should have these keywords: Jenkins, GitHub, SonarQube, unit integration, CI/CD, TBMS. Okay, you can see here key skills: AWS, Kubernetes, Terraform, Jenkins, CI/CD, Docker. So these are the keywords they will search in your profile. Let us take another thing like this, 1 to 4 years. You can see here continuous integration, DevOps, deployment, continuous improvement, risk management, troubleshooting, customer experience, monitoring. So they will search for these words in your resume. So this is 80% of your profile. So I suggest you keep, for example, what are the tools we learned here in our training, tools and technologies. Okay. Let me mention according to the category. What is the OS? Linux, Linux administration knowledge, intermediate level. For example, Linux commands, Linux permissions, user management, package management, service management, network management, disk management, and VIM editor. VIM editor, and then, so all these things right? So as part of OS. And then next, what you learned here, scripting. Scripting, shell. And then Git, like we have practiced GitHub. Okay, even GitLab, Bitbucket, everything is 100% same in a Git. And then continuous integration. So these are the popular technologies in the market. What is the continuous integration tool we learned here? Jenkins. And then continuous scanning. What is the scanning tool we learned here? SonarQube. And build tool. Build tools, Maven for Jenkins, and then NPM for Node.js projects, and pip for Python related projects, NPM for Node.js and React.js, right? And continuous scanning, SonarQube is done. Artifactory tool. What is the artifactory tool we learned here? Nexus. Okay. And continuous configuration management. What is the configuration management we learned here? Ansible. And then infrastructure as a code tool. We learned Terraform. Containers, we learned Docker. Container orchestration, we learned Kubernetes. Okay, and other tools we learned Helm. And what else? Can anybody help me with what else we learned? Yeah, monitoring. Monitoring, we learned Prometheus. Grafana. And the New Relic. And ELK stack we learned, right? Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. And AWS, coming to AWS, you know, many services that is like VPC, EC2 instances, auto scaling, launch templates, and then load balancers, you know, Route 53, you know how to create a hosted zones and A records, CNAME records, and then, you know, RDS instances, you know, other databases like Elastic Cache, and, you know, security groups and NACLs. And what else? You know, IAM to create rows and policies, users and groups, WAF and Shield to secure the endpoints. Okay. And KMS to encrypt the text. Okay, so thank you, Pavan. You are helping us. And, you know, EKS for container orchestration in AWS, and then parameter stored as part of SSM, system management. So these are all the services which can be covered as part of AWS Solution Architect Associate. This is the minimum. These are the more services than AWS Solution Architect Associate. So we learned these many things. So you should understand the problem solved by this technology. Okay. Yeah, and storage, as part of storage, you learned S3, EBS, EFS. Okay. So you learned these many technologies in last 3 months, and I hope you would have practiced very well. Okay. So in this professional summary, you should at least mention one point on these things. Okay. So then there is no chance of not selecting you. So there is 200% chance of selecting your profile for any position from 3 years to 15 years or 20 years, whatever it is. Okay. So make sure you should mention at least one point on these concepts, at least one point. And very important thing is you should highlight like this. Okay. So then they don't even read, because they don't know. They don't know about this technology. They only want proper format, and then you should have all these things in your profile. That's it. If you bold it, then they will directly select your profile. Okay. Each point on the tools and technology, tools and concepts, you know. Bold the tool name. Okay. So I mentioned here, for example, let us take Linux. I mentioned here 3 points. You should mention at least 1 point with the meaning of this. Okay. So, you know, administrating and then manage Linux based systems, like we all practiced on CentOS 8. Okay. RHEL is same as CentOS 8, 100% same as CentOS 8. And AWS Linux is also 100% same as CentOS 8. So it means you are telling to the HR or technical manager, you are aware of Linux administration concepts, like you are aware of Red Hat Enterprise Linux, CentOS, or AWS Linux, etc. Okay. And you are telling one more point, skilled in utilizing command line tools, you know, Linux command, you know, log analysis, how to check the logs in Linux systems, and then you know how to diagnostics, like checking the ports open or not, connecting to the other server or not through telnet, pinging other servers to check the internet connectivity. You know all these things, how to troubleshoot within the Linux server. You are mentioning this point. So whatever you are mentioning, read this line multiple times and understand the inner meaning of this. And then you justify yourself whether you know or not. If you know, then only you keep it. Otherwise, you don't keep it. Okay. So since we taught everything, each and everything here, I mentioned. Okay. So it is justified if you know this and mentioning only. Otherwise, it is not justified. So, you know, user management, package management, service management, network management, disk management. So you are mentioning these points. So at least mention one of this point, whatever you are confident in. Okay. Keep one point, and then I will tell you where to mention other points. Okay. So I will share you this file. Okay. Let us discuss on the template. So this is the professional summary. Next, very important thing is technical skills table. Okay. So this table, just create a table and mention the category and mention which you know. So we all just now we discussed, right? We know operating systems, Linux, you know, and then Windows, you are already using Windows laptop, so you know Windows. And source code management, Git, GitLab, Bitbucket, whatever it is same. Build tools, Maven, instead of Gradle, you can say npm, pip, etc. CI, continuous integration, you know Jenkins. Configuration management, you know Ansible and Ansible Tower. Infra as a code, infrastructure as a code, Terraform. Monitoring tools, Nagios is Vault. You can just keep New Relic. And then cloud, you know AWS. If you know other clouds like Azure, you can mention that. Scripting languages, you know Shell. If you know Python, you can keep it. Programming languages, it doesn't mean you know how to write Java programs. It means you understand the Java project structure. Okay. For example, you understand Maven pom.xml. It means that one. It doesn't mean you know this programming languages. Okay. Scanning tools, you know Sonar. Okay. If you know other scanning tools, you can mention. You know another scanning like ECR image scanning, right? You can keep that. And container technology, you know Docker. This one you don't know anyhow. You don't keep. You know, it is not mandatory. Container orchestration, Kubernetes, you know. So keep this table properly. Then by seeing this table, then it is like mostly 90% of your resume. Just first page of professional summary and immediately technical skills table. Okay, mention the tools you know category wise. And then next important thing is certifications. Just list of certifications you did. Okay, and then work experience. List of companies you worked. With the dates if possible. Okay. So like this. And then you can mention educational qualification. Okay. So the certifications through our coaching, through our training, you can complete AWS Solutions Architect Associate. And then Terraform Associate and Certified Kubernetes Administrator. Okay, so if you have budget, you do the certifications. Otherwise, it is not mandatory. Okay, more than a certified person, if you are able, if you are confident on your technology and your concepts, then it is not always mandatory if you don't have budget. Okay, so mostly if you are working in a company, your companies will give you some reimbursement fee to do the certifications, then you are encouraged to do the certifications. Otherwise, if you don't have any budget, you are learning this DevOps and AWS, and if you don't have more budget personally, then you no need to do the certifications. Okay, you can beat other persons with your confidence and then more subject knowledge. And after this, now the projects. Okay, this is the I don't think any HRs will come to this much level. Okay. So list of projects, for example, project 1. And what is the name of the company? And client you worked for. If your client is same as your company product based, then mention the same. And then dates from and to. And then location, for example, Bangalore. Now roles and responsibilities. Okay, roles and responsibilities, they're obviously same as the professional summary. Okay, so ideally here, professional summary, what you are mentioning, what tools and concepts you know. Okay, so this is the professional summary, letting HR what you are aware of, what tool and concepts you are aware of. This is the professional summary meaning. But roles and responsibilities, how you implemented the tools and concepts in this project. Okay, so this is the one you have to mention. Obviously, mostly sometimes this point and this point will be the same, but it doesn't matter. Okay, you just tell them like I worked on this tool in this project. For example, let us discuss something like shell scripting. You mentioned this point, proficient in shell scripting for automating routine tasks, improving operational efficiency, and streamlining system administration process. For example, you mentioned this point in professional summary, and then you mentioned second point in the project. Utilize shell scripting to parse and process large data sets, manipulate files and directories. You know how to use SAD editor, right? So that comes with this point. And perform system level tasks such as user management, package installations, and system configurations. Now, what you are telling, so you utilize shell scripting in the project to take such to automate a few tasks like user management, package installations. Okay. So this one. So out of this list, understand the meaning of each point I mentioned here. Keep one point in professional summary. Keep another point in the projects. Another important thing I want to tell you is what are the projects you have to mention in your resume. Actually, very important point. Mostly nobody knows. DevOps don't care of projects. For example, if you are a developer, you are working in a SBI bank, credit card development team. If I am the interviewer, what I expect from your project explanation is what you are doing in the credit card team. What is your credit card business? Okay. So in which team you are working? Credit card points team or credit card activation team or credit card OTP team? So which team you are working? What is the business? What is the logic you are writing to make the business running? Okay. For example, you are working in a OTP team. So what is the logic of OTP? Whether you are hitting the third party SMS, whether you are sending through WhatsApp, you are sending through email, and how you are confirming whether the message has been delivered, what are the challenges you face. So these type of questions I expect as part of project description because he is a developer. If you are a developer of an application, you should know what is the business, what is the logic behind the business. But if you are a DevOps engineer, actually, I don't care what is the project. What I care is application deployment from dev to production in an automated way. And applications should run continuously without any errors. If there are any errors, we should immediately get the alerts. Okay, so many persons before taking the course, they're asking me, so what are the projects I should mention? Can I keep the RoboShop project? Okay, actually you keep RoboShop or you don't keep RoboShop. For example, you are working as a QA engineer in one project, just keep your project, whatever the project. For example, you are working for SBI, just mention SBI project, you are doing DevOps engineer. So when they ask, explain me about your project, what is the intention of the interviewer is how you are, what is the work you are doing to automate the applications from dev to production. Okay, ideally you should explain. So I am the DevOps engineer for SBI credit card team. So we have a lot of modules. We have some applications based on Java. We have some applications based on React.js and Node.js. Our responsibility is to create a CI/CD pipeline from dev to production in an automated way. As part of this pipeline, we will create multiple stages like cloning, compiling, building, packaging, unit testing, deploying, and then we will deploy through Ansible, and we will automate the configuration management in Ansible, and we have the infrastructure in cloud. So we have EC2 instances, we have Row 53 URLs, and we have the VPC configured, we have auto scaling groups. All these points you mentioned, that's it. They don't ask you what is the logic behind the credit card. Ideally you can keep any project in the world. DevOps engineer always perform few things: automated deployments, and then automated provisioning of infrastructure, like using Terraform, and then monitoring. That's it. So if they're asking about the project, it doesn't mean you explain the logic behind the project. You can keep any project from Wikipedia. Just take the description from Wikipedia. For example, SBI Bank, you are working for, or any other, like Tata Steel. Let me take Tata Steel. Just go to their Wikipedia. If you are not aware of your projects, few persons, they are coming from non-IT to IT, so they are not aware of the projects. For them, I'm saying, if you are already working in IT, you no need to search something. Whatever the existing project you are working in, just keep the same description. Okay, so myself, what I do is I'll just copy this. Maybe I have done this already in my own resume also. I do. So here, project description, maximum 5 lines. Okay. So this is how I mentioned. Just 5 lines. So they will understand what is your business and which domain your business. Okay, they don't ask you the questions from here. So here, 1 point, project description. Maximum 5 lines from Wiki. Or if you're already working, then just keep the same. So like this, based on your experience, if you are 2 years experienced person, just mention one project. If you are ideal like 8 years experienced person, okay, so you learned DevOps, so you cannot keep complete 8 years on DevOps. So what you can do is you can keep 4 years on QA and 4 years on DevOps. If 4 years on DevOps, mention 2 projects. Just pick another project randomly from UK or US, whatever. Okay, maybe your friends are working in some clients. Just get the name from them. That's it. And go to their Wikipedia page, copy the description and mention it. Okay. So as an interviewer, I don't know whether you are really working in the project or not. So what I want to understand from you is you are able to convince me with the DevOps process you implemented in the project. That's it. Whether you are able to do the automated deployments by using CI/CD pipelines, whether you are able to create the containers and images, whether you are able to deploy the microservices using Kubernetes manifest files, whether you can do the templating of Kubernetes manifest through help charts. Okay, So whether you are able to write the shell scripts, Python scripts if required, where you are able to install the ELK stack, you can do some monitoring scripts or not. So I care all those things, whether you know the AWS services or not, whether you can do the automated provisioning of infrastructure through Terraform or not. So I'll mention, I care only those points, not about your project business. So I recommend you not worry about the project, at least in DevOps. Okay. 2 years, just keep one project. 4 years, keep 2 projects. Just like 8 years, you mentioned latest 2 projects on DevOps, and then first 2 projects on your existing technology like QA. Okay. So this is the overall template you can work on, ideally like this. So I have a lot of templates. Okay, so I will send these templates to you. But whatever the template, your existing resume template is good, just follow that template and then follow these things. Okay, follow the same format of font, follow the same format of the background, but try to mention these things. Left side, right side, career objective, professional summary, technical skills, table, certifications, work experience, education qualification, projects. That's it. Okay, I'll send these templates to your all email IDs. Okay, I have some confidential information in these templates. I need to remove the actual person name, mobile number, email ID, and photographs, and all those things I'll remove, and then I'll share it with you. Okay, don't worry about the things, but remember these things. What I explained till now, you should remember these things and then follow that. Whatever the format you selected, just try to mention all these points. Okay, I'll share with you all these points. For example, let us discuss on Jenkins. Okay, so Jenkins is the major thing as part of DevOps and CI/CD, right? So you mentioned this point, extensive experience in configuring and managing CI/CD pipelines in automating software builds, testing, and deployment process. For example, let us copy this point and keep it here as part of professional summary. For example, randomly here. For example, randomly here. So you just bold this one, Jenkins CI/CD pipelines. Okay, and then mention at least 1 or 2 points in the projects. This one. Both points meaning is same, but just the sentence format, sentence structure is different. That's it. So here you are saying you know about Jenkins CI/CD pipelines, and here you are saying you design and implemented in your project. That's the only difference. For example, here. So in project roles and responsibilities, you no need to bold it. Okay, here don't bold. Just keep the roles and responsibilities. So ideally, if you follow this template to try to remember whatever the points I told you. And very important thing, you should know what you have written here. Okay, just spend at least 3 days to 1 week time on your resume, daily add some points and ask yourself whether you know that already or not. Okay, so there is no limit on how many pages. Based on your experience, the resume length may become more. Okay, for example, even if you are 2 years experienced person, you should mention this professional summary and then this technical skills table and your certifications, work experience, education qualification in 2 pages. So even you are a fresher also, for example, you are a fresher, but you should not say, I don't know anything, right? You should say at least I learned DevOps and AWS with someone, just mention us if you are a fresher, and then mention the same thing, professional summary, technical skills, education qualification, certifications, work experience. So this itself is 2 pages. Okay. After that, projects. If you are a fresher also, one project, whatever you learned here, RoboShop, you can mention that if you're a fresher, then it will become 2 pages. Then 4 pages of resume, at least for a fresher profile. If you are a 2 years or 4 years experienced person, there will be 5 pages, 6 pages. It doesn't matter the number of pages. Okay. Ideally, it can be 6 pages. For example, this is 4 pages only. You can mention this as like 2 years experience or 3 years experience, 3 years experience person. This 4 pages has a lot of information. Okay. The HRs, they don't check number of pages. If you have 20 pages, it doesn't mean you are a super expert. Okay. So always, what is the information they want, you should mention, and in a crispy manner. That's all. Okay, so in this file, I mentioned everything. These are the AWS things. Okay, so I have career objective, few points. I have Linux, few points, shell scripting, Git. So these are the things we taught you in the course. Okay, you can check this. These are the things we taught you. If you have practiced very well, then you will understand like these points you know already. Ansible, Jenkins, AWS IAM, VPC, security group and NACL, Route 53, EC2 services, RDS services, WAF and Shield, KMS, and few points on cost savings. Okay, how can you enable VPC endpoints? So using Terraform also you can save the cost by terminating the infrastructure whenever you don't want. Okay, so that is as part of cost savings. When it comes to AWS, three things matter. Provisioning of infrastructure through automation, that is one major point you should convince. And then some security services like KMS, WAF and Shield, and IAM services, security group NACLs, and then how to save at least some cost of the AWS infrastructure. And this is the Terraform. We know how to develop the modules, how to create the resources, and then Docker and Kubernetes. These points, how to create Docker containers, how to create Kubernetes manifests, how to do Helm charts, and then ELK, how to install the ELK cluster, how can you create index, how can you check the log files through the Kibana, and then monitoring part, Prometheus and New Relic, how can you create dashboards in Grafana, all these things, and some deployment strategies like rolling update and then zero downtime. So try to mention these points, as I said. Okay, I'll share this definitely. I'll share all these points to your, I'll share whatever I discussed. I'll share this template. I'll share this resume points, and then I will share this resume formats as well. Okay, so just give me some time to remove the confidential information. So by tomorrow afternoon, you will get everything, whatever I discussed. Okay, I'll send email and I'll inform you in WhatsApp as well. Okay, so and after that, I'll conduct one more session on interview preparation. So I have few live interviews recorded. I'll share with you. And then, so if you see, so I have updated some interview questions on Terraform, Docker, and Kubernetes here in our website. Okay, I will add more things here. Okay, so let us take few questions. Yeah, Vinay, you have some question. Prasanna Reddy. One second. You're speaking. Are you guys speaking? Just ping me a message. Sai Prasad.
Hi, hello.
Yeah,
So my
hi.
question is like, how do we match the job description and our resume? Like how to
Okay.
customize according to the job description and resume so that the ATS should accept the our resume.
I don't think any DevOps and AWS engineer they will ask more than these things. This at least will cover 90% of the things. Okay. So any job description you cannot match 100%.
Yeah.
So you can, if you are able to match 60 to 70%, then you are good. Okay,
Okay.
because nobody knows everything. So what are their expectation is, if you are matching 60 to 70%, they ideally search for 100%. Obviously, it is not possible. If you are matching 60 to 70%, they will interview you and they will get a confirmation from you, like you don't
Mhm.
know this technology, but you are able to learn and do it. So that is what the confidence they will test.
Okay. So the other question is like, most of the companies uses this ATS system, right? So how do we manipulate these ATS systems via our resume to click by the recruiter or HR?
See, your ATS experience, total experience may have your ATS. Okay.
Okay.
But if you want to go completely ATS as DevOps engineer, then obviously uh, you should have practice very well, and you need to do a lot of things. If you're
Yeah.
generally an average guy, so they have to go as 4 years on QA. For example, if you are working as a QA engineer, or if you are working as an L2 support engineer from last 8 years, so you
Mhm.
should say first 4 years I was working as L2 support engineer. So later, as part of career upgrade and cross training in my company, I choose myself. Okay, I learned DevOps through internal trainings. I was like volunteer myself. Nobody asked you to upgrade, but so as part of your career upgrade, you you got some self motivation, and you upgraded your skills to DevOps and cloud, and then you sent a request to the HR. So then they moved you to the DevOps and cloud technology.
Okay.
So from
Yeah.
last 4 years, you are working in DevOps and cloud engineer. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is
Thank
how
you.
you should convince. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Prasanna Reddy, and then when I see no other questions, if you have any question, you can raise your hands. Krishna Pradeep.
Hi Shiva.
Yeah. Hi.
Actually, my current designation is lead admin.
Okay.
So, should I mention the same or should I mention
How much
DevOps?
experience?
Uh, I'm on 4 years.
Oh, just 4 years.
Yes,
Okay, so then it's your wish, right? So you cannot change your designation. It is in experience certificates, it is in pay slips everywhere, right?
yes.
So you
So,
cannot change.
is that okay to keeping the same
Okay,
lead admin?
that is that okay means it's the only option. You cannot simply
Okay,
change your designation. They will ask you how you became lead in 4 years. Then you need to justify. If you're
okay.
if they gave you lead position in 4 years, then it means you have some real talent. Just they don't
Oh,
give simply as a lead admin,
no,
right?
no. Actually, 1 year back I got the
Yeah. So at the time
promotion.
of
Yeah.
3 years experience, if you become lead, then it means you have some talent to lead with less experience. That is a good thing actually. You should not worry
Yes,
about
yes.
that. Okay.
Okay. So I can keep the same and I can say that okay,
Yeah.
I in past 1 year or 1.5 year I got chance to move to DevOps, so I did so and so like that, right?
The position is different and then technology is different. Okay.
Okay.
You are lead admin. You are lead admin to what? It's nothing, right? For example, if you take the
Yes.
positions in TCS, the positions does not reflect your technology. There, the positions is assistant system engineer training, assistant system engineer, IT consultant. So like this.
No.
Okay, you
Yes.
no need to reflect the technology in your position. You can work in any technology. So every
Okay.
technology needs some specific skills for at least 50%. Apart from technology, you should have proper communication. You should know how to behave with your leader, how to behave with your manager, how to behave with your team members, and you should know how to cooperate with other teams. You should know how to behave with HR. So all these things are 50% matter. If you are a lead, you should know how to guide the team members.
Yeah.
Just by position of the lead, it doesn't mean they are your slaves, right? Team members are not our slaves. So they are
Yes.
they are depending on us. They have some hopes on us, like for a good mentorship, for a good guidance, all those things. So definitely you should have some command in a positive manner. So first thing you should convince HR as a leader is, I know how to guide my team members. I know how to solve the problems when they are stuck. I know how to support them.
Okay.
So I know how to get the task completed from them. I know how to command them in a positive manner. All these things you should convince the HR.
Okay. Thanks. Sure.
Then you are the real lead. Okay, just by working 8 to 10 years, 12 years in a DevOps continuously will not give you the lead position. Okay, so lead has some responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Most welcome. Manju, you have some question?
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, bro. Good evening.
Good evening, bro.
Yeah. So, because I have only experience of QA, and so how can I switch like a QA to DevOps engineer for 1 year experience?
That's what I explained in this one hour session, bro. Just keep your profile for 1 year in DevOps. Why you want to switch within 1 year?
Yeah, because I'm interested in DevOps tools and technologies.
Okay, so first try
So
internally. Try internally in your company. Okay.
okay.
If that is not possible, then you can change the company. If you are changing the company, keep the complete 1 year experience on DevOps.
Okay. And one more important thing is that are you going to start any courses which are related to Jenkins, especially CI/CD pipeline?
Okay, so I hope you are from our Docker Kubernetes and then Terraform student. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll discuss later.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Venkata Karthik Reddy Gajulapalli.
Hi Shiva, how are
Yeah,
you?
hi. Yeah, I'm fine, bro. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm too good. So basically, I currently working from past 1.5 year as a DevOps engineer only
Very nice.
for KPMG. But my end client is KPMG. They have a lot of tools they are using. But one thing is previously I have been mentioned a fake experience and I placed over there and I am going through with that. So my contract is going to end on August 3rd. So I am looking for new opportunities and I would like to learn this Terraform and Kubernetes. So they are joined in this. But I prepared my resume as well as my LinkedIn profile today itself to fetch new jobs. So I would like to know, if not, if anyone is interrupting this, we will discuss more on this by sharing my resume on few other stuffs, maybe in person as well, maybe in separate call.
So you have followed all the things I explained now about the resume template, how you should keep. You followed.
Yeah, most of the things I already mentioned in the resume, but alignment is I need to change the alignment. That's it. Just few add-ons are there.
Yeah, this is my recommendation. Like, so they will easily find what they want immediately. Okay.
Yeah.
This is my recommendation.
I followed these all. Mostly 90% I followed. Only 10% I need to modify. Depends on the right side and left side. These things I need to take care of that. But if I don't want to disturb other people's time as well.
So you message me separately. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So Prasanna Reddy, you're not able to speak. I can't hear you, Prasanna Reddy. Sheikh. Srinivas Reddy, app support.
Hi, Siva. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, bro. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Siva, but for most of the questions you answered, I have a question like, how much chances or percentage we do have to get calls for 3 months notice period? I mean, say I know that the things, but no, if I go with this any developer, no, so there are a lot of calls for developer. I hope we will get such calls for DevOps engineer also. So I just wanted to hear from you.
Actually, I have seen DevOps and some cloud. Preferably, first-time learners they go with AWS, right? So I am just checking the DevOps and AWS is the only technology we have the maximum calls across the world, even in India, UK, US, or whatever wherever it is. But thinking about the 3 months notice period, I cannot really comment. It is not the DevOps problem, right? It is the common problem of IT.
Right.
So there may be a lot of debate happening in LinkedIn about they should not keep 3 months. We should not lock the candidates. So it's not a DevOps problem. So you should have some strategy. Just try more times. That's it. Okay.
Well, so we will say that the 60 days notice period, then we will extend for 15 days, blah, blah, something will happen.
Yeah, you follow some strategy.
Okay.
Few companies, they may really accept 3 months notice period. If they are not accepting, then you follow some strategy.
Okay, Siva. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, most welcome. So that's all the questions. Sheikh and Prasanna Reddy, I'm not able to hear you. You're not speaking. So no other questions from the candidates.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Sheikh.
Hello, Shiva.
Yeah.
Recently, I have applied jobs in the past 1 month. As I'm trying. I have worked as a automation tester previously. My designation in my payslip is showing software engineer, but skills and is showing automation and testing. How to overcome this issue?
Okay,
Is there some
so you can so while interviewing the HR, so they will not ask your pay slips, right? So they will believe whatever you say. You just mention as DevOps engineer. Okay. So they will conduct the interviews. We hope you clear the interviews, and at the end you are at the documentation stage. You need to fill the current company position. So there just add the DevOps word to your position, or just keep the same position. So then they will ask you, your position is QA engineer, but you are saying you are a DevOps engineer, but you can just say, I was working in QA and then DevOps both. So I know how to configure DevOps. I know how to add the testing in DevOps pipelines. You know, right? How to add the testing in DevOps pipelines.
Yes.
So you are a Selenium tester. You are writing Selenium scripts. You know the commands to run the scripts. You just keep those commands in the Jenkins pipeline. So even you, for example, you are filling your position as QA engineer. Then you can debate with HR. So positions, I don't matter the position. Earlier I was in QA team. I was working in QA team and then DevOps team both. So they just gave me this position. That's it.
Okay.
If you are able to cross the interview stage, then that's fine. So people, they don't worry about the positions.
Okay. I just prepare like this, before for QA environment, the developers, DevOps will assign us and they give environment. So I told like that as a DevOps, I'm working as a automation testing, but before getting the QA environment, I was able to work on these setup a QA environment for QA people, by setting the CI/CD pipelines.
So whatever you can say, you can tell them. The advantage you have is, you know, two technologies, you know, DevOps and then you know QA. You tell them, I know both technologies. They cannot give us there is no DevOps QA engineer position in our company. So they just gave me QA engineer.
Okay.
So just try to convince somehow, because you know two technologies. If you know some concept, convincing the other side person is very easy if you are honest. I mean, you know DevOps and QA both.
Yes.
Okay.
And one more thing is like I'm applying for abroad also. Like I'm getting so very less calls. Can you give me some roadmap like how to approach for like abroad countries? Recently, I
Okay.
have researched for like Middle East. They asking for I have mentioned Arabic, so they are looking for Arabic people. So I get one call. Okay, but like Singapore and like Germany, how can
See,
we
first
approach?
thing, you should have proper experience in India. You should at least work for 6 months to 1 year in DevOps engineer. Later, daily morning, 10 a.m. the target country time. For example, if you are targeting for Malaysia, 10 a.m. Malaysia time daily, go to the LinkedIn, apply, spend 1 hour to 2 hours, apply each and every position opening there. If you apply for 100 positions, you will get 5 responses. Out of 5 responses, they will schedule 2 interviews, and out of that you need to crack one. So you need to repeat this process for 2 months. You will get the results on the first day or at the end of the second month. Okay, but you should keep trying 2 months
Yeah.
or 3 months. So that's how the actual things will work if you want on-site position directly.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And like one more thing is like if we conduct any mock interviews and we send some videos like things like how
Yeah, I'll share
we
live
can
interview recordings. You can, if you want mock into, just ping us. We will set up.
yeah, sure. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, most welcome. Satya Narayana BV.
Hi, Shiva, good evening.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
Yeah, I am your Terraform and Kubernetes student. And actually, I trained at one of the reputed institute in Bangalore, and they
Okay.
provided a resume also. And in that resume, they put only the project, like we provide software for electronic healthcare record software and practice management system to the healthcare industry. That's it only. And they don't need they don't put any other like what are the tools and technologies, and client is also not mentioned. It is okay for us. It is okay.
Ideally, if you follow this, so you are saying yourself they didn't mention anything.
Yes.
Then
yes.
how is it okay?
Yeah, okay.
Not okay. Try to follow this. If
Okay.
you feel a better resume more than better resume than this, then definitely you follow that one. Okay.
Okay.
If you feel this is good than your current template, then follow this. I
Okay.
don't say I'm the best. Okay. This is what I am doing and I am recommending. If someone if you are not aware of anything about resume, if you have good understanding of resume and you know, if you have better formats and if you have better points than what I am providing, then definitely follow your process. You don't need to.
My intention is they put 5 years experience with only one project, like web and
No,
mobile
that's
application
not
for
good.
healthcare.
5 years, at least 2 projects. 5 years, at least 2 projects. Okay.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Srinath.
Hi, Shiva.
Yeah, hi. Actually.
Good evening, and I would like to share one thing. My case is different. Like I have almost a total 9+ of years experience I'm carrying. So as a network engineer, I'm carrying 5+. So remaining part is 1.5 year is like Linux administrator, and remaining part is AWS with Linux. So now I am learning DevOps. In my past 1.5 year, last to 2021 to still now, I'm into AWS with Linux only. So in my experience, almost all 5 to 6 years network engineer. So when I go to the interview, so interview persons are asking, so you have almost 5 years of experience as a network engineer, but so how can we consider the AWS with DevOps? So they are asking me like this. So
okay, if I get a chance, I want to become like you. Because networking is the major part of IT tech.
okay.
So entire software in one line is exchanging the data between computers.
Yes.
I have one laptop. There is a Facebook server. I'm doing facebook.com. So there is a lot of data exchange between my laptop to the Facebook server. So all this is happening because of networking.
Right.
So you know how the data center, how the subnetting, how the routes, route tables, firewalls, load balancers,
Yes,
and
yes.
you know many other things which even I don't know. So my ideally I want to become network engineer earlier, but there was no chance. So
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 I'm a
if I am the interviewer, I will definitely consider your profile, because in DevOps also, while troubleshooting, what is the major part of troubleshooting? It is networking only, right?
Yeah, right.
So whether if the Jenkins job is filing, then it's clearly there is a communication error between Jenkins to another tool.
Right.
Jenkins is not able to contact Kubernetes cluster. Jenkins is not able to contact SonarQube server. Jenkins is not able to contact Nexus. Then you can clearly troubleshoot where the error is with your networking knowledge. Okay.
Yes.
So that's a big advantage for DevOps engineer actually. And you know, Linux administration experience also, that's a big advantage. So I can say enter IT technology are based on 4 pillars: operating systems. After operating system, Linux is the 99%, and then networking and programming language, and then storage, right?
Okay. Right.
So what you are doing, you are installing operating system in servers, you are communicating servers through networking, and you are running some softwares through some programming language, and you are storing the data into some storage. Either it can be files, or it can be files is also a data, DBMS is also a data, RDBMS is also a data, NoSQL is also a data, Redis, whatever, it's a data. So this DevOps and cloud, these are the some technology on top of these 4 pillars.
Okay.
It has few OS knowledge, it has few networking knowledge, it has few scripting knowledge, it has few storage knowledge. Okay, so this is on top of the core skills. If you know the basics, if you know the pillar part, then it is very easy for you. So you should just get some confidence. Keep 5 years as networking and convince other side person as networking as a big advantage. Okay. Maybe other side person, he is not the actual DevOps and cloud manager. Okay. So and then convince them last 4 years you are working as DevOps engineer.
Is it okay for me to put that much of experience as a DevOps and AWS cloud?
Yeah, definitely okay. If you say you are already a AWS engineer, you are
Yes.
already Linux administration, then what else is stopping you to keep 4 years experienced person? This DevOps is nothing to you actually, if you just think and concentrate.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, most welcome. So that's all the questions from all of you. Thanks for joining. I'll share to your email IDs everything whatever I discussed by tomorrow afternoon. This complete recorded video and the resume formats, and then this resume points, and then this template. Yeah, I just wrote it in AML, so to convince you can write anything about yourself in AML. Okay. Good night. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye. See you.